What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, and this is the 2023 Frank Zappa March Madness, the songs. We are now on the Australian bracket. Why Australia? Why not? Also, there's a RDNZL. That's your number one seed in this bracket, the number 4 seed overall. And it just seems like RDNZL. RDNZL. Sounds like it's an Australian word, right? Just checking to make sure I have that right. Yeah, it was the number 4 overall seed. So yeah, this is what's going to happen. There are 4 head-to-heads, 1 through 8, 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 7. I'm going to tell you what they are. At the end, I'll put up the bracket. You go in the comments and you vote. It is what? Today is... Wait, no. I was wrong in the last one. Today's Tuesday. Whatever. You have 48 hours from whenever this gets posted. So just look at when this was posted and add 48 hours. And if you're after that, don't vote. Or vote, and your vote won't count. But yeah, I think today is Tuesday. I'm doing these in advance. I'm not good at counting days. So Friday to Sunday, I think it's Tuesday today. So you have until Thursday. So anyways, yeah, let's do this, people. Let's get on to them. Your first head-to-head. RDNZL versus City of Tiny Lights. This is the weirdest bracket of them all so far. I'm just going to say that right now. RDNZL. Another song from 73, 74 era. Some good playing by Ruth. Got a guitar solo in there that was usually pretty epic. Got some... latter half of the song was pretty weird and pretty funky. You got some neat little... all kinds of we can share a love every day. Some weird little singing part in it. Nice little hooks. Nice compositional. One of those very proggy numbers by Frank. The version on Studio Tan is really good. That has a good solo in it. Yeah, just kind of almost sounds like it's somehow related to Inca Roads. Feels like they're almost formatted the same way, but just kind of with different written parts in it. And I've always thought of those two things as kind of different heads on the same beast in a way. But that's RDNZL versus City of Tiny Lights, which is just didn't really change all that much throughout the years. Kind of the ending kind of became more elongated and more dramatic. Who played the opening riff change. But for the most part, it's just that awesome awesome riff, great lyrics. Whoever was singing it throughout the years was always fantastic. There's lots of different versions of this live throughout his catalog. It's got that little weird written part that would have in like 76, 77 that they eventually dropped. But yeah, it's a really, really neat live guitar solo vehicle that kind of stuck around for many, many tours and was kind of a staple of the live Frank show, City of Tiny Lights versus RDNZL. RDNZL versus City of Tiny Lights, 1 versus 8. Next one, number 2. My writing, the number 2 seed in this, it's Big Swifty versus Drowning Witch. What are you going to do with this? Big Swifty, huge, epic number, opening track off Waka Jawaka, big sound, lots of just and then we're off into like solo territory for like 12, 15 glorious minutes, like a little George Duke, a little Sal Marquez, a little Frank. Alternate versions of that were released on the recent Waka Wazoo, which have just a totally different feel in that middle jam, but are still pretty epic. Versus Drowning Witch, another just an amazing opening riff, great lyrics. You get a little sprech-timey, that talk sing stuff that Frank does. You get a little bit of that in there, especially on that 84 live version. Ike doing a really good scored a game show announcer thing on that. You can't do that on stage 3, volume 3 live version. Excellent guitar solos. 2 guitar solos at the end of this, in between some like overly complicated, convoluted sort of instrumental written passages in which the 81, 82 band could strut their stuff. Apparently Frank said no band ever played this song live without making mistakes. That's how difficult it was. But the guitar solos, if you go look at the things that popped up on the album Guitar, there's I think quite a number of like Drowning Witch guitar solos that popped up on there. Quite a good vehicle for guitar solos with 2 different, slightly different amps that he would solo over. Very, very interesting song. Probably one of the best things he did in the 80s. So yeah, that's your 2 for 7. 3 versus 6. Yo Mama versus Cosmic Debris. Maybe you should stay with your mama since you keep getting tricked by those charlatans who are trying to read your fortune and stuff like that. Yo Mama. Came out of, eventually was like Wild Love in like 77, the end of Wild Love kind of had the Yo Mama drum beat, and then there'd be guitar solos, including the Squirm, something that Frank called the Squirm. That eventually kind of became its own song called Yo Mama. Frank put some lyrics on it. The guitar solo section kind of has three distinct parts, which one is like Frank just kind of all over the place, and then the band comes in, and we kind of shift into like we ship into top gear and then take off toward the finale. Got played all the way through like 81. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it stuck around in 82. Definitely made it through the early 80s. But yeah, really good guitar solo vehicle. You know, the actual lyric part was pretty short before we're just off into like, oh yeah, let's see where Frank's going on this one. But yeah, versus Cosmic Debris. Like a really straightforward song. Verse, chorus, guitar solo. Verse, really funky. I start to wrap the newspaper around my head. A funky part there. Sometimes a slowed down reggae part, which didn't work so well. And then a joke. Then we got a joke at the end about you old lady and the things she's doing. But a live favorite, a fan favorite, silly little, I don't want to call it a throwaway song, but one of those lighter numbers, if put well in a set list, could do amazing things. But yeah, especially in like 73 and 74 would open some shows and everybody would get a chance to solo. So one of those things where instead of just one solo, you get a couple people soloing, kind of a nice way to ease into a show. But yeah, Yo Mama versus Cosmic Debris. That is a pairing, people. But finally, our last pairing. What another weird one. Greggery, Peccary, all 20 plus minutes of it, versus Eat That Question. Greggery, Peccary, part of this came out of lots of different things that Frank had played throughout the years. He had kind of taken different pieces that had occurred in the late 60s, something that had popped up in 72. He then took all these different parts, put them together, put his story over it. A lot of conceptual continuity in this. This is probably one of his more complex pieces. It is an epic. One of my favorite songs. It made my top 10 list. You can watch that video elsewhere on this channel. Just a ridiculous song. What's the word aggressive is not what I'm looking for. Very ambitious, but I think Frank pulls it off. I think it's thoroughly engaging from start to finish and has some of his most beautiful, sort of highly complex musical passages ever. Versus Eat That Question. Starts off with George Duke, playing this nice little like keyboard riff, organ riff, keyboard, and then all of a sudden the band comes in, you get this dun-dun, this almost like epic sounding theme. Then we're off into like solo territory with George Duke and Frank doing solos. Ainsley Dunbar on drums is just mind-blowing. Nice little crazy coda at the end with almost some like Marshall-like drumming. Just an absolutely fantastic, energetic, really concise, powerful, like 6 minutes of music. Just mind-blowing stuff off Grand Wazoo. But yeah, this is an interesting one too. Greggery, Peccary versus Eat That Question. But those are them. Right there. Those are them, man. Those are your people for your Australian bracket. Let me know what you think. Vote in the comments. You have until Thursday to get your votes in. Then we close this thing and move on to round 2, because this is the final round. Subscribe if you're not, so you can get the updates for the next round. Like, share, rewatch if you're bored. But more importantly, go listen to music, people. Go listen to all the music. Peace. Talk to you later.